Following the immediate success of the 2020 film adaptation of Sonic the Hedgehog, Paramount Pictures greenlit a sequel in May 2020. Despite the name, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is like a hybrid adaptation of some other original Sega Genesis classics, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. To maintain a similar vibe, the film introduces new characters such as Miles Tails per Hour and Knuckles the Echidna. I really enjoyed the first movie, but this one is an excellent follow-up that makes me want to play Sonic games again due to its faithfulness to the source material. In fact, this one takes everything great about the first movie and makes it even better. Though I wouldn't say that it's perfect by any means. Like its predecessor, there's something about it that keeps it on very safe levels for family entertainment, but also keeps hardcoreists entertained. So, how does the sequel follow neatly in its series' footsteps? Why is it an instant improvement over the original? And what paths does it carve for the future installments? In today's movie review, I'll be talking about the sequel to the 2020 hit movie Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Because I actually like this movie, so it's all good fun. And Knuckles? That didn't make sense. Starting with, this movie stays more faithful to its source material than the 2020 film, and it arguably does it even better to help have it set in its universe. Notably, Robotnik's design is a lot more faithful to his video game counterpart. While he still lacks his thick body style from the games, he now has his red suit alongside the black outlines. He's also bald with the glasses, and his mustache is more realized. It also introduces plenty of new things, like new characters such as Tails and Knuckles, the introduction of the Chaos Emeralds, as well as the Master Emerald from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and also the Death Egg robot that Robotnik uses in the film's climax, as well as when Sonic turns Super in the film. Normally you need 50 rings to turn into Super Sonic, but this movie treats the film as something that Sonic can do with the emeralds himself. There's also plenty of references to the games, like Tails propelling Sonic in the air, the tornado plane is also here, Tom's ringtone is the original Green Hill Zone theme, and the whole premise of Knuckles being tricked by Robotnik stealing the Master Emerald is literally ripped right out of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Also, one of the film's posters references the box art of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Super cool. With a larger budget intact, the film also has the same impressive visual and CGI effects that are significantly better than its predecessor. Thanks to the film's better colour scheme, fluid movements, and more realistic cartoon animation, the characters are more realised here, with Tails and Knuckles looking exactly how they look in the games. And Sonic looks a lot more realistic as well, with his skin being more crisper than before. And the super form that Sonic used also looks really awesome, with the budget being used on that, with the overwhelming power and that feeling of getting all the emeralds in the games to become Super Sonic. As for the marketing strategies for the film's opening and ending sequences, the Paramount logo uses rings instead of stars in its intro, like the first. And the ending sequence is very Genesis-like, with the characters using a 16-bit retro vibe, just like in the games, to match very well with the whole visual style with its graphic designers. This is how to make your imaginative artistic flair come to life. The film's characters here are arguably way more enjoyable and also even more likable than they used to be in the games. I also like how they sound here, with the voice acting being extremely well done, with Jim Carrey's unmatched charisma in going full Dr. Eggman mode, with the manic energy and performance being exactly like it was in the 90s. Also, Colleen O'Shaughnessy reprises her 8-year-old video game role as Tails, so that it's easier for fans to really get a taste of her iconic role, being a major standout in general, as live-action video game adaptations or animated ones rarely use the same voice actor for their films. Idris Elba was also a really great choice to play Knuckles, bringing out his serious warrior-like vibe with a literal mind-plotted to foil Sonic's plans. It's a perfect match for a character that's all about strength and honor. For the character development, Sonic's newfound devotion allowed him to form his superhero lifestyle with an amount of excitement to his character, whilst improving his relationship with Tom and Maddie. Tails is a determined and brave fox, willing to face the unknown dangers throughout multiple places with his intelligence to help Sonic out in any capacity. And Knuckles is still serious yet gullible with a force of nature with his powers exceeding that of Sonic. And he has determination of never giving up to handle things on his own. The film's humour is way more improved over the original, and it plays it safe with the one-liners, comedic timings, and plenty of smart writing. Jim Carrey is still an absolute delight to watch here, with the laughs, as he makes Robotnik all the more better, especially his lines, all of the sequences involving him and Agent Stone, and once again doing his own thing while staying faithful to his character. Though he does floss from Fortnite like Sonic did in the 2020 film. But I didn't care much because it's Jim Carrey. Sonic is also still funny, including his pop culture references and his energy into his character that gives him plenty of story into the mix, and also the entire sequence with him and Tails having a dance party at the secret wooden hut in the snowy area is both hilarious and quite emotionally touching at times, especially with how the film keeps Sonic's best friend-like relationship with Tails intact. And of course, Knuckles has plenty of gigs of his own with how he gets himself into a natural human life playing baseball. The film's humour is once again Jim carried hard thanks to an icon that birthed the comedic timings in the 90s. Lastly, like its predecessor, the action sequences are really fun to watch and they don't come off as overwhelming, allowing it to keep its tone and the spectacle that it did previously. The entire climax at the end of the film where Sonic, Tails and Knuckles faces off against the Death Egg robot is one of the greatest sequences this film series has seen, as it not only looks like a very realistic fight scene from the games, but Sonic eventually turns super and obliterates Robotnik's creation in seconds. It also gives the vibe of you turning into super form, blasting through all the boss battles initially without the Chaos Emeralds, because you'd be struggling otherwise, whereas this form, in super form, you'd be destroying them all in mere minutes. Sonic films and their action sequences have yet to match this one, with the scale also looking much bigger than the original. The battles are also so much more like all of them between Sonic and Knuckles, like the snowy mountain chase, looking very dynamic and doing a great job with its visual style to match. It's really impressive how action like this was put onto a $90 million to $110 million budget. Even if Sonic 2 plays much better than its predecessor, it also came with some of the minor problems that hold it back from perfection. The only one in particular is with its sluggish subplots. The wedding sequence dragged on for way longer than it needed to. This is one of the biggest chunks of the second act that not even Sonic, Tails or Knuckles appear in this entire sequence. And to add salt to the injury, it lasts for at least 15 minutes. This could have been so circumvented since it makes some of the pacing feel very slow just to add to that spectacular finale. It completely takes the action away from the chaos just to focus on some bland human characters that nobody cares about. The entire film also mostly focuses on Sonic himself, which also means that neither Tails nor Knuckles get enough screen time for their own here, despite the great character development and voice talents. The main human characters are also still not that great, but it's probably for the best, as the film wants to focus on its main stars and characters after all that appear in this film. This is a negativity that is repeated from its predecessor and isn't really improved on. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is an improvement over its predecessor in virtually every other respect and is almost close to perfection that you could ask for a video game adapted movie. It stays true to its source material with better references to its iconic series. It has better looking visual effects that makes the characters more alive here. It has excellent character development that makes them more enjoyable. The humour is spot on here, especially with Jim Carrey's gold performance, and the action is improved upon with a bigger scale and scope. Though some of the subplots are poorly written, and the characters in general, especially the humans, don't really get much to do, just like in the first movie. Still, I really like this movie, and it's 100% a step in the right direction for the franchise. As it goes on, its critical and commercial successes continue to grow, and the post-credit sequences also keep hinting viewers on what happens next, this one introducing Shadow the Hedgehog. Plenty of fans will get plenty of entertainment out of this adventure, with all the game references that only the truest fan will get, while still being the same old entertainment that all ages can get enough out of. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 delights on another level with its humour, action, adventure, and characters. And if fans are still interested to keep up with this film's speedy charisma, then I could see the series going on for a very long time until it finally comes to a full stop. Just as enjoyable and action-packed as the Blue Blur's greatest 16-bit adventures, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 runs faster and brisker than its predecessor thanks to its continuous comedic routine from Jim Carrey. My final score for the sequel is a 9 out of 10 and a grade A. Despite some lingering flaws that are still intact, this is a great film adaptation that really proves bigger is always better. I'm genuinely a massive fan of the Sega Genesis era for the Sonic franchise, so this was definitely a delight for me. I'm more than certain, though, that the future movies will go into a different direction with more new characters and more story plots that stay more faithful to other games of the series. It's a series that will always keep on giving. But with that being said, leave a like on this video if you guys did enjoy my review on Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and also remember to subscribe if you are new and hit that bell icon to see more content on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Take care of yourselves.